Okay, so I'm going to be showing how to make an interval timer, but you're going to be able to see the actual interval itself. So a lot of times with interval timers, the issue is that you can't see what interval you're on. And if you can see, I'm on PowerPoint now, and it's just like a regular PowerPoint page. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click to add what I want to do. So let's say I'm doing Ready, Set, Go. You're going to start with that, and each time you use Screencast-O-Matic, you can press pause and then repress play, so that when you repress play, you'll have this new typed thing. So let's say I press pause right now and you won't be able to see. I will then do set next, and I'll do go. And I'm going to show you guys what this looks like. I'm going to do it next, so I'm going to show you what it'll look like if you pause and then press play after typing. So this is what it's going to look like. So let me start with ready. Let's say I started with ready. So each time, you can see I just paused, and then I retyped, and then I pressed play so that it didn't catch any of the middle stuff. Now, if you want the screen to see what you're doing as you go, you can type while it's actually recording. So you can say all of this stuff. You can type whatever you want when it's going, so you can see what people can see what you're doing. But when it comes to intervals, you don't want people to be seeing you typing the interval, so you're going to say interval 1. So let's say we did ready, set, go, interval 1. Then when you pause, you're going to be able to switch to interval 2 without saying anything. So I'm going to show you what that's going to look like. So let's say we're on interval 1. Okay, so you saw me go from interval 1 to interval 5. Basically what it did was I did the same thing as I did with ready, set, go, but I typed 1 and then 2 and then 3 and then 4 and then 5. So now I want to tell you how to add sound. So what I have right up here, if you look at my browser, is ignore everything up there. I have this 10-hour continuous beep. And this 10-hour continuous beep is going to just be playing in the background. Now I don't have it pressed as play right now, but if you do press play, it's just going to keep going continuously. So I'm going to show you what it sounds like. Okay, so it's just this long beep. Now that can keep going in the back of your screen. Right now, since I'm talking, I can't press play on that and do the actual PowerPoint at the same time. But when I am doing the PowerPoint and I'm not talking out loud and you don't need to hear my voice, that's how you can add the beeps between intervals. So for example, instead of clicking to that back and forth like this, going between pages, what you're going to be able to do if you're not talking is hit the volume button up and down based on when you want to hear it. So pretend that I'm not talking, and I'm going to show you what that's going to look like. So I'm going to stop talking right now. So now I've muted. Now you can probably hear me talking, and if not, I apologize, and we'll probably add dialogue later. But right now, all I have to do if I want to have a little beep is click this. So I just click the volume on and off, and then that's how I'm going to get my timer. And then any interval that I need that sound at, I can just go. And that's on and off with my volume button. So now I've closed out of that. So how do we add this all together? So what I did was I started and I did ready, set, go, and then started interval 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's say I do interval 1 and I want it to have a beep at the beginning. That's when I would press play on that 10-second timer video. So ignore that for a second and I will show you the way it's going to look. So let's say I want volume. Let's say it's the start of interval 1. I'm going to go like this. I'm going to mute for the rest of the interval, and then when I'm ready for interval 2 to start, I'm going to pause and change it to interval 2 and have it beep at the beginning, pressing play on that beep again. So it's going to look like this. So then now I'm going to do it with the next couple so you can see what it looks like. So all you're doing is pressing the volume button on and off, but this way you can actually track the interval in the video itself so that if you ever lose track of the interval, it happens. So it's going to look like this in the end. This will be kind of how you do the interval itself. Let's say we're doing 5-second intervals. It will be like this. Now, that's what that's going to look like. Obviously, I didn't record them. I didn't use a timer very well. So if you want and need actual accurate recording, which is, if you're using an interval timer, that's typically very, very necessary to have accurate recording. You're going to want to use a timer to know when to pause so that you can have an accurate recording throughout. But otherwise, this is how you create an interval timer so you can see the intervals actually changing. And then this is beneficial in so many instances when you need to know where you are, not just every 10 seconds, every 30 seconds, but you need to know how many of those 30 seconds have passed, and you might lose track of time, whether that's because you work with kids who are, very energetic. All kids are very energetic, and maybe you don't have time to count the intervals. This will count them for you.